want to do this video to show you what not to do when making this backpack. People have been asking for the pattern, and we're going to go ahead and release the pattern before we finish the video, because some people want to go ahead and make it without the video. But there are some things that I want to show you of what not to do. And first thing that you want to keep in mind is that this pattern here, when you're making this pattern, your seam is on the front and back, not the side. Normally the seam will be to the side, but this time the seam is at the front. And everything that you do, you want to do it before you, I would say at least sew one of the front or the back together. One of them can already be sewn together. You can either have the front sewn or you can have the back sewn together. And the reason why I say that is because once you sew it completely up as far as front and back, well, then it's going to be more difficult to put your pockets on. Now, these pockets do not have a gusset, but you can add pockets that have a gusset. These here are just flat. With a gusset will give you more space, more room to work with. If you're going to put your brand on it, we did this. Like I say, everything had to be done while the bag was still flat. Now, I did make some mistakes with this bag, and one of them was for these grommets. I put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You only need 8 grommets. Do not put 10. Because if you put 10, it really doesn't close the way it should. But 8 will allow it to pull together. And you know what? You don't even have to do a drawstring. That was just something that I decided to do, was drawstring. You could just, do a flap and close it however you want to close it, whether you want to do it with a buckle or some type of turn lock or a magnetic clasp. However you want to close it, well then you want to think about that very carefully before you start putting this bag together. One of the other mistakes that I made was that I waited. If you're going to put a buckle on, I waited till the bag was already put together as far as the front and back before I added this buckle keeper. And which is, like I say, it looks good, but it was just more difficult to do because the bag was already put together. Whatever you're going to do it with the bag that is still flat. And I would suggest that you leave the back of the bag open so it's still flat, and that would allow you to do everything you want to do on the front. Now, this bag will come in 3 different sizes. This is going to be the large, and the dimension will be on the website with the patterns. Now, we did not add the straps to the pattern, so keep that in mind, because if we that was going to take us into 3 pages of pattern. So to keep the cost down, we only did 2 pages. And the straps are not added. These straps are 51 inches long, and you can make yours whatever you want to make them, however wide you want to make your straps. These straps are 1 1/4 inch wide, 51 inch long, and 1 1/4 inch wide. Now, I did put off for some time of making a backpack because I couldn't figure out how to do my straps to where the bag was going to be comfortable. So this is the style that we went with. Now these are called stud, what do they call it? Stud screws. I think that's what they're called. But you can get these from Tandem Leather Factory, Ohio Travel Bag, carry them, and they screw on the back. And they come in different sizes. This would allow you to be able to adjust your strap. Now, this piece right here, I did this because I wanted to take the stress off of this down here, this part down here. So it fits very comfortable, very comfortable. And like I say, if you want to make it without the video, just keep in mind that these are some things that you must remember. Oh, one more thing. When I did this bag, I did not flip the lining inside. I just dropped it inside. And that was because when I put the bag together and before I put the lining in, I did not skive the top. So this right here was real thick. And I didn't want to take a chance of trying to sew over that. And, you know, it would sew everything else, but I was just afraid of sewing across here because if I started to sew across and it was too thick, it was going to mess up my stitch. So I just dropped the lining in. So the pattern will be to where it's designed to drop the lining in. I'm sorry, it's designed to flip the lining, and which is going to give you a 2-inch fold, and then your grommets will go through your 2-inch fold. But remember now, if your leather is thick, you want to skive that. So that's the one thing you want to make sure. Now, if you decide to drop your lining in, what you want to do is that you want to take off 2 inches from the top of your pattern. And because we added 2 inches so we could flip it and it still be this height. So if you decide to drop your lining in, well then what you want to do is, remember, take 2 inches off. Well, you may want it taller. It will make the bag about 2 inches taller. So these are just some of the things I wanted you to know before you start working on this pattern. Now, once the video is out, you will see exactly how it goes together. But just keep in mind, the seam is to the front and back, not the side. You put this bag together just like you would a tote bag with a lining, which have the seam on the side. So just keep that in mind. And also, like I said, also with the pockets, you can make the pockets to where they have a gusset. It'll give you more room that you can put more things inside. So anyway, I just wanted to do this video to let you know, if you buy the pattern without the video, these are some of the things you have to watch out for. And thank you for watching and supporting what we do.